Now at 9, the Missouri Republican Presidential Caucus takes place. We'll hear from some local voters in the Show Me State. Plus, music lovers gather at the 4-state record show in Carthage. And
Israel and Hamas possibly moving closer to a ceasefire deal. I'm Mike Tobin in Tel Aviv. Details coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Elise Noe. Voters across Missouri gathered today for the Republican Presidential Caucus. KOAM Samantha Walker attended the Jasper County Caucus to see what the process looked like and hear from voters.
I'm just here to let my voice be heard as an American voter.
Missouri voters may be used to doing a presidential preference primary, where they nominate a president by filling out a ballot. But after state representatives failed to vote to implement the primary this year, the only option was to hold a caucus in all 114 counties to select a Republican nominee.
It's kind of old school doing it this way as in a caucus, and it's the first time I've done one.
I've never done a caucus before, so I wanted to find out all about it.
To join the caucus, participants had to be a registered voter in their county, have a current government-issued photo ID, and be willing to sign a statement saying they were a Republican. Each caucus started at 10 a.m., and voters had to be signed in by then to join.
It is a lot of time to come to a caucus and do this, so you know who's really devoted to seeing the best done for our country.
I've had texts and emails from people that are not very pleased about the process that the state put forth this year.
Caucus voters each select the nominated candidate they would like to win, and their votes are counted at the caucus. Former President Donald J. Trump won the nomination in counties across Missouri.
Our official numbers for the 442 citizens of Jasper County: Donald J. Trump, 419.
Well, I see a lot of people that really care about their country, they care about their freedom, and they're doing their part in what they feel is right to support our democracy.
Reporting in Jasper County, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Delegates selected at today's caucus will cast their votes at the district convention April 6th. The state convention will then follow on May 4th. You can find more information about this year's election season on our website, koamnewsnow.com/elections. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us for a first look at weather.
We warmed up today, seeing temperatures getting up to 79 degrees, with our low this morning being about 40 degrees. So it was quite a drastic increase in temperatures. Not quite at record level, but we do hope to see that increase tomorrow. Now, we don't see any rain on the forecast until Monday. We see the system just west of Denver making its way into our area Monday morning and kind of pulling from the Gulf moisture. So we'll see rain chances all week long. Now tonight, temperatures are still pretty warm, 58 degrees, with pretty windy skies. We're going to see winds gusting upwards of 45 miles per hour. So if you're planning a night out, you might want to take into account that it'll be really windy. We see these winds continuing through the weekend, but I'll bring you more updates in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. Well, the Mirza Shriners in Pittsburgh today held a family night out. It included inflatables, quarter pit, face painting, a giant Jenga, and a free lunch. Along with playing games, those in attendance were able to learn about the Mirza Shriners organization and the support they provide for area children in need.
We're not charging anything. We wanted to give back to the community. The community is so good to us. When we're doing fundraisers, we wanted to give something back to the kids, just have some fun, let them do their thing, and just be a relaxing afternoon.
The organization has been serving families in southeast Kansas for more than 100 years. Well, folks in Joplin today were able to get a sweet treat and support students in need at the same time. The Joplin Interfaith Coalition hosted its annual bake sale to benefit Joplin Bright Futures. The coalition consists of groups from several religious affiliations coming together to support the community. Today's bake sale helps Bright Future support local students living in poverty have opportunities for success.
Very important for everyone to be on the same platform, regardless of our differences in faith or wherever we come from, and we come from different communities and different backgrounds. So I think it's a great platform to learn about each other and learn about working together.
There were also board games, face painting, and a silent auction at the event. Well, for state music lovers were able to add some new tunes to their collections at the 4th State Record Show. The Carthage Memorial Hall hosted the event. Attendees were able to visit vendors showing cassettes, CDs, equipment, memorabilia, and vinyls.
I think it's the perfect art package. You have the physical cover art, you've got the music media, you can read the liner notes, see the pictures. You know, multiple people have probably owned this wonderful item, and it's like Pokemon. For me, I've got to collect them all.
The event offered various vinyls as door prizes throughout the day. An Oklahoma parent reacts to a controversial video of students licking peanut butter off toes during a school event. The school district says the event was to raise money and students volunteered for it, but the parent says school officials shouldn't have allowed it. David Kasnow has the details.
This video shows Deer Creek High School students licking toes at a fundraising event Thursday. We have blurred their faces to hide their identity.
It was surprising. I didn't think they were gonna do all that. I was just shocked. I didn't really have like a feeling. I was like kind of disgusted, but then like kind of glad I wasn't over there. He is devouring them. Whenever she told me yesterday that was happening, I had to ask her like, wait, what? They're licking peanut butter off of toes. What?
The Deer Creek School District confirmed the video with Fox 25, saying the students volunteered in challenges to help raise money during their philanthropy week.
I am all for fundraising and all for really fun and silly things, but that right there just seemed a little excessive.
Oh! Deer Creek Schools says every student who participated signed up for the games they played ahead of time, and that no faculty or staff were involved during the assembly. They note that the fundraising week helped raise more than $152,000.
It's really great that they raised a lot of money. I feel like maybe they could have done a little bit more accountability and ownership in that statement for, hey, you know, maybe we didn't fully think this thing through here.
Later, researchers are suggesting that one type of natural disaster can have a lasting impact on mental health. Today, March 2nd, is World Teen Mental Wellness Day. It's a time to set aside to raise awareness about the unique challenges faced by school-aged children. Health experts say parents and caregivers play a critical role in their teenagers' emotional well-being. A CDC survey of youth collected in 2021 found increasing mental health challenges, experiences of violence, and suicidal thoughts and behavior among all teens. One Navy lieutenant is running across the country to raise money and awareness for mental health issues. Fox's Matthew Seedroff has more.
Feeling good, you know, we're eating the food, we're drinking the water. Got a nice breeze, life's good.
Running across America and towards history.
Day one.
Navy Lieutenant Paul Johnson in Santa Monica Friday.
5 miles, 6 miles. Oh, baby, here comes the snack box.
His target, New York City.
Trying to set the transcontinental record, running across in the fastest time.
We ran alongside Paul through Arcadia. You're moving at a pretty good clip.
Yeah.
Mile 29 of 3,000, a feat that sounds crazy. Are you crazy?
I think you gotta be just to attempt this. This is probably the closest I'm gonna get to Hollywood right here. All the way up there.
75 miles a day, every day, 40 days straight.
We're just doing a casual 5K 1,000 times.
If Paul can do it, he'll beat the current transcontinental world record by 2 days.
You know, running 75 miles in one day is really hard.
Yeah.
And to wake up knowing that you're gonna be doing that 39 more times after today.
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that?
I can't think about the full thing. Like, I know I'm going to see my crew in 2 miles here. We'll take a 15-minute rest, and that's all I'm focused on. Just get to the next checkpoint.
Running has helped the 28-year-old surface warfare officer through some mental health issues.
It's something that I've struggled with and still struggle with.
Now he aims to raise awareness and money for Team Red, White, and Blue.
A lot of my friends and peers in the Navy are sailors. A lot of my friends in public service. And we don't talk about it enough. New Jersey, New York.
Hey.
That was almost number 3 there.
Battling LA traffic.
See ya!
You know that guy?
No.
And other unexpected obstacles. Woo! Paul and his team are hungry for success, each step one closer to New York and history.
I know I can run. I know it's going to hurt, and that's okay. It's kind of what we signed up for here. But I'm confident we'll raise awareness. Really, I think about it as I don't want to let them down. I know people put a lot of time and energy and support, so that's kind of what's on my mind all day.
People living close to massive wildfires don't just have their physical health to worry about, their mental health is also at risk. A new study published this week in the journal JAMA Network Open looked at more than 7 million Californians who lived close to 25 large wildfires between 2011 and 2018. Researchers found a statistically significant increase in orders for antidepressants, mood-stabilizing medicines, and medicines to reduce anxiety compared with the period before the wildfires. Lindsay is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later, home insurance rates continue to rise. We'll have some tips on how you can save on protecting your home.
We had a pretty warm day today, but winds were picking up earlier and they're going to continue to gust upwards of 45 miles per hour tonight. We can see, taking a look at our Cornell Complex camera, you can see the camera is shaking out there. It is clear though, and it is going to be a warm night. Only thing we're dealing with are these pretty fast wind gusts throughout the remainder of the weekend, and we don't see any rain move in until Monday, about 10 a.m. on Monday. We'll see this system just west of Denver make its way in, kind of pulling some moisture from the Gulf. So we're going to have quite a few days of rain next week, actually. Taking a look at our 36-hour temperature trend, we have warmed up quite a bit. Just this time yesterday, it was about 55 for a high, and today our high was 78. Now, 7 p.m., we're still in the 70s, so it's a pretty warm night ahead, low being in the upper 50s. Like I said, though, pretty windy. Winds gusting out of the south up to 45 miles per hour, possibly even seeing 50 miles per hour. This is going to continue, especially tonight. We'll see the fastest winds. As we move into tomorrow morning, they lighten up around 30 to 35 miles per hour gusts, picking up a little bit right before the rain does start to make its way through. That'll bring down the wind gusts quite a bit. We see rain move in Monday 10 a.m. Just some showers across the central counties. Maybe seeing some heavier rainfall Monday evening, depending on where this system wants to track. Now, through Tuesday, we could see still some scattered showers across the area, with the heavier rainfall starting to make its way in after midnight on Wednesday. We're going to see around 1 a.m. Thursday morning, see some rain start to push in on our western counties. That's going to continue on by 8:30 a.m. when you're on your way to work or school. Pretty heavy rainfall across the area. Now, we're not going to see any thunderstorms quite yet with this. It'll increase throughout the day. We're going to see heavy rainfall most of the day. 2:30 still raining. Now a little bit of break before moving into Thursday evening, where we could see that thunderstorm potential increase into Friday morning. Now rain sticks around, light rain on Friday morning, finally clearing out at 6 p.m. on Friday. So like I said, quite a few days of rain Monday through Friday. We've got rain chances. Well needed. Hopefully help with the drought, and then moving into next weekend, we will see the sun again.
Well, we definitely need the rain, but it was so beautiful, gorgeous out there today, and hopefully it'll, still be gorgeous out there
tomorrow in the 80s. So that is good. A nice little treat right before we see a pretty wet week.
Absolutely, a perfect way to start off March.
Definitely.
Right. Thanks, Lindsay. Well, mortgage rates continue to soar, causing some hesitation for potential home buyers. We'll have the details coming up. Mortgage rates continue to rise, providing more hesitation for potential home buyers. Mortgage buyer Freddie Mac reports the average rate on a 30-year loan jumped to 6.94% from 6.9% last week. That is the highest level in 2 months and the fourth straight weekly increase. Well, in the last year, home insurance premiums have skyrocketed. In some cases, those monthly costs have risen by as much as 40%. Jen Sullivan looks at what's causing the price hike and what homeowners can do to try and save money.
When disaster strikes, home insurance is there to help cover some of the costs.
Your home is one of your largest assets, and in the insurance industry, it's wise and prudent to protect that asset.
But the price of that protection is becoming more expensive. Home insurance broker Travis Hodges says he's seeing an average increase of 27% year over year. And in some cases, the cost of insuring your home can go even higher.
We've heard as much as 40.
So what's causing the price hike? Hodges says there are a few reasons. 1. Changing weather patterns and events, such as tornadoes and wildfires. 2. The cost of materials has gone up, so it costs more to fix any damage. 3. Property values have risen. Let's look at those numbers for a moment. In January, the median home sale price was $379,100, according to the National Association of Realtors. That's 5.1% higher than January of last year, and it's the 7th month in a row home prices have gone up.
Everything else has gone up. Insurance has just mirrored that and been proportionate.
So what can you do to save money? If you're willing to increase your deductible by as much as $500, Hodges says you can save anywhere from 15 to 20% and shop around for different policies.
We actually do that proactively for our clients. Every time there's a renewal, we let them know what other options are out there.
Up next, one groom is using virtual reality to create a unique wedding experience. A groom in Utah decided to add a bit of tech touch to his wedding fit. Jacob, a tech engineer, wore the new Apple Vision Pro headset on his wedding day. You can see in the photo how his new wife is a bit taken aback by his decision. The young bride says she allowed her new husband to wear the headset during the reception. The Apple Vision Pro is a virtual reality headset that can display digital content within a person's physical space. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. Efforts for a ceasefire in Gaza as the two sides move closer to an agreement. Efforts to pause the fighting in Gaza could be close. A report today indicating the two sides are nearing an agreement. Fox News' Mike Tobin has the latest.
A major development Saturday in the war between Israel and Hamas. A U.S. official tells the AP that Israel has agreed to the framework for a ceasefire and hostage deal, and that it's now up to Hamas to agree to the terms. This as international pressure has grown for a stop to the fighting amid a rapidly developing humanitarian crisis in Gaza. The UN says virtually the entire population of 2.3 million is at risk of starvation. U.S. Air Force C-130 Saturday airdropping aid packages into the territory, the White House acknowledging the complex nature of the operation.
It is extremely difficult to do an airdrop in such a crowded environment as is Gaza. Very, very densely populated.
On Thursday, more than 100 people were killed while waiting for aid in Gaza City. Palestinians claim the Israeli military opened fire on the crowd.
We ran towards the food aid to get some. The soldiers and tanks fired at us. We left the food and aid and ran.
Israel denies that, saying its tanks fired warning shots but not at the crowd, instead blaming the deaths on a stampede after people swarmed the delivery trucks. More than half of Gaza's people have sought refuge in the southernmost city of Rafah, where an airstrike Saturday killed at least 11 Palestinians and injured dozens more. Israel says it intends to continue with its effort to wipe out Hamas there even after a ceasefire has ended. According to Gaza health officials, more than 30,000 Palestinians have been killed since the war started. In Tel Aviv, Mike Tobin, Fox News.
Former President Trump is accusing E. Jean Carroll of being inconsistent with her position about his wealth. That's according to a new court filing as he continues to try to delay posting the $83 million judgment from the civil defamation case. Thursday, E. Jean Carroll told the judge overseeing the case that Trump should not be given more time in posting the money she was awarded. Her attorneys called Mr. Trump the, quote, least trustworthy of borrowers. Well, new details about the congressional testimony given last week by President Biden's brother. This follows the release of testimony from the president's son. Fox News' Chad Pergram reports.
Hunter Biden's testimony commanded the most flash, but James Biden's testimony may be even more intriguing.
Of all the people that we've interviewed, Jim Biden was the most unbelievable of them all.
James Biden said he received $40,000 in loans from the president in 2017 when Joe Biden was a private citizen. He also testified he paid his brother back with money which appeared to come from a Chinese energy firm, CEFC, though he didn't think the firm was tied to the Chinese government.
He has all these loans, hundreds of thousands of dollars of loans from shady characters, many who have been in prison.
The first brother testified that Hunter Biden called his Chinese business partners protégés of President Xi. This is why Republicans wonder if Biden family dealings compromise the president.
We've got to start talking about the real crimes here: Foreign Agent Registration Act, tax evasion, and obstruction of justice. Those are the crimes. I believe that's enough to go to impeachment.
Republicans lack the votes to impeach so far.
I do think it's over at this point, and it might be time for us to fold up the circus tent.
Like Hunter Biden, James Biden repeatedly told lawmakers the president wasn't involved in family business. But Republicans say inconsistencies are glaring when comparing the testimony of James Biden, Hunter Biden, and Hunter business associate Tony Bobulinski. James Biden denies President Biden met with Bobulinski and Hunter at the Beverly Hilton Hotel in 2017. But Hunter says, quote, my dad went and shook hands with Tony. And Bobulinski says, quote, Joe Biden came across the lobby. Republicans hope to wrap the investigation soon.
We need to put this thing to rest. It's dragging on.
Investigators want a final report by spring, especially if the House wants to consider an impeachment vote before the election. On Capitol Hill, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
Still ahead, playing through history.
San Diego studios adding a dose of history to the newest storylines mode in the hit baseball game MLB The Show 24. I'm Eamon Dignam in New York. I've got the details coming up.
Well, we had a really great start to the weekend so far, with the temperatures being in the upper 70s today. It is breezy, and that's going to continue on through the rest of the weekend. Taking a look outside at our downtown Joplin Cornell Complex camera, you can see the camera is shaking because of the wind. We see gusts upwards of 45 miles per hour tonight. However, we don't see any rain on the forecast until Monday, with the system just west of Denver making its way, pulling also some moisture from the Gulf. So we're going to see quite a bit of rain chances in the next week. Now, the 36-hour trend from the last few days has increased a lot. We see our high from yesterday being 55 and our high from today being 78. So we had a pretty drastic jump there, and we're going to continue to see temperatures warming up. Tonight, I was only getting down to the upper 50s, 58 for a low starting around 7 a.m. And it's going to be pretty windy, winds out of the south, 15, 20 miles per hour. But throughout the night, we see gusts upwards of 45 to possibly 50 miles per hour. That's going to be continuing on through Sunday morning. Start to die down by Sunday afternoon. We see gusts about 30, 35 miles per hour. We'll pick back up in the morning, so when you're getting ready for work, going to school, we'll see gusts again, 40 miles per hour, clearing out as we see the rain start to make its way in. Starting 10 a.m. on Monday, we'll see rain come in from the south, and that's going to be most of the southern counties seeing some light rain. Continuing on through the day with some heavier patches of rain. However, depending on how this system tracks, mostly it's just going to be in the eastern counties. Now we're going to see some showers here and there on Tuesday, a little bit of a clearing Wednesday during the day, with showers rolling in overnight hours into Thursday morning. Now Thursday is where we're seeing our heaviest batch of rain coming in. Most of the day, 8:30 a.m. we'll see rain covering their area, and by the afternoon, so ending your day, we see still pretty heavy rainfall across the area. maybe a clearing right before we see those thunderstorm chances actually start to make their way through. That's going to be Thursday night and continuing into Friday morning, 8 a.m. still lighter showers, and that's going to start to clear out a little bit later in the afternoon around 6 p.m. when we finally see a break from the rain. Now it's good. We do need the rain. We've had some pretty dry conditions lately, but we have 5 days ahead of rain conditions. Now it's going to be clearing out Friday afternoon, leading us to have another sunny weekend. Temperatures back up in the 60s by Sunday.
I think I could get used to another sunny weekend.
Oh yeah, I know. It's 3 weekends in a row now.
There we go. Nice. Sounds great. All right. Thanks, Lindsay. The largest fire in Texas history is still burning across the Panhandle. Officials say hundreds of structures have been destroyed. Fox News senior congressional correspondent Casey Stiegel has more.
Dry air and gusty winds creating the perfect storm of dangerous fire conditions across the Texas Panhandle. Since igniting Monday, the Smokehouse Creek fire has scorched more than 1 million acres. Multiple people have been confirmed dead. Others are watching their neighborhoods burn to the ground.
Everywhere you go, it's pretty much destruction.
On Thursday, light rain and snow gave firefighters more favorable conditions, but that was short-lived. The National Weather Service says another big warm-up is expected this weekend, which could further fuel the blaze.
We get all seasons in a week. You know, it can be hot and windy. It'll be snowing the next day. It's just kind of that time of year.
Officials say they're focused on eliminating flames surrounding structures. Governor Greg Abbott is authorizing more state resources to assist, including dozens of personnel, engines, and air tankers.
No one can let down their guard. Everyone must remain very vigilant. Winds are going to pick back up. The right elements for a fire will be around.
The Smokehouse Creek is one of several wildfires still burning in Texas and across the border in Oklahoma. Towering plumes of smoke are settling over communities, giving people little time to evacuate.
We came back to try to get the remaining family pet and maybe a few belongings from inside the house.
President Biden says hundreds of federal personnel have now been deployed to the Panhandle. That's the latest from Dallas. Casey Stiegel, Fox News.
Coming up in sports, several of our local high school basketball teams play for sub-state and district championships. John Dales has highlights and scores from all the day's top games. Up next.
College Heights boys basketball lost its final game of the regular season, but from that point forward has won 4 in a row, leading the Cougars to the Class II quarterfinals. College Heights taking on Hartville at Ozark Christian. Winner goes on to the Final Four in Columbia, but the Eagles land the first few punches. Grant Culver pulls the trigger from the top of the key and connects. Later on in the first, Jalen Cryer drains a 3 from the same spot. Hartville opens up a 10-point lead in the first quarter. Cougars not going to go away. Beautiful play design on the pass from Caleb Quaddy leads to a Broderick Burns bucket. Then, right out of halftime, Adam Stanton steps into a 3 and drains it. That caps a 5-0 run, brings the Cougars within 11. Fourth quarter, the senior Colson Dickens finishes a reverse layup and trims the deficit back to 12. But Hartsville made the Final Four last year, lost only 2 games this season, and just a bit too much for the Cougars to handle today. College Heights has its season come to an end, a win away from the Final Four. The Cougars fall in the quarterfinals, 49-31. Staying in Missouri, we go to the Class 4 District 12 championship between Seneca, last year's winner, and Aurora, last year's runner-up. A rematch of last year's district title. Seneca faces Aurora in a win-or-go-home game. Opening quarter, Cannon Thornhill fires from beyond the arc and hits for 3. Hound Dogs lead by 3, but quickly on the other end, Zane Grosjean answers with a 3-pointer of his own. Seneca ties the game. Over to the second quarter now. Jace Schulte on the fast break. He crashes hard into the lane. Count the bucket plus the foul. Still in the second, big man Jaden Carpenter gets a huge block at the basket. Then on the other end, Carpenter gets the rebound and the putback. Aurora down just 4 at halftime. But in the second half, Seneca starts to pull away. Ethan Altick knocks down a mid-range jumper. Then Blake Hearn going to work inside the paint, gets the bucket plus the foul. Seneca wins big. The Indians defeat Aurora 81-55 to claim the district championship.
They just have been experienced, and it's hard to go back-to-back. Some people go their whole careers without winning them, and so these guys know how to win. They played big games their whole lives, so they're unselfish. They play really hard, and so it's not easy, and these guys know how to do it.
Yeah, there was a lot of excitement. Student sections popped out. There's a rematch from last year, and it just feels good to get that win over them again and move on to the next chapter.
Another district title game in Missouri. Nevada boys basketball has its season come to an end. The Tigers lose to St. Michael the Archangel 72-49. Now let's move over to Kansas. We start in Class 2A with the girls sub-state tournament in Cherokee. No surprise here. Colgan remains undefeated. The Lady Panthers beat Southeast 58-31. They advance to the Class 2A state tournament in Dodge City. In the boys game, though, how about this from Erie? The Red Devils, the 3 seed in the tournament, take down Colgan, the number 1 seed, one of the top-ranked teams in Class 2A all season. Red Devils win at 50-48. They're going to state. Now to Class 3A and the Caney Valley sub-state. Twice in the regular season, Girard and Riverton played each other, and twice the Trojans win. But the Rams win it when it matters most. They're going to take it 52-40, and they're heading to state in Hutchinson. Now to the girls' game. Girard, the top seed in the tournament, looked like it tonight. The Lady Trojans win by 14 over Cherryville. They advance to the Class 3A state tournament in Hutchinson. Elsewhere in girls 3A, Neodesha made it to the sub-state title game against Cheney, kept it close all the way through, but comes up just short. 47-38, the final. The Lady Streaks season ends tonight. Boys Class 4A, East Sub-State title game. Fort Scott takes down Chanute 49-43. Both the Tigers boys and girls teams punch their tickets to state this weekend. Staying in boys Class 4A East bracket, Parsons won on Wednesday over Eudora to earn a trip to the title game, but the Vikings season ends tonight with a 64-37 loss to top seed Atchison. Then finally, girls 5A. Pittsburgh girls drop a tough one, 47-41 to Blue Valley Southwest in the sub-state title game. Their season ends, but the Purple Dragons can hang their hats on the massive upset win they got in the semifinals just to reach tonight. Let's go to college basketball. On the women's side, not the senior day that Pittsburgh State or Missouri Southern was hoping for. Gorillas fall to Missouri Western by 7. The Lions lose to Northwest by the same margin. And on the men's side, Pitt State wins a double overtime thriller, 86-83 over Missouri Western. The Lions, though, lose at home to number 6 Northwest Missouri. All 4 of them will play in the MIAA tournament this coming week. That's a look at sports. We'll be back after this.
The hit baseball video game MLB The Show 24 is giving players a chance to play through history and learn about the Negro Leagues. Fox's Eamon Dicknam spoke with one of the developers about the new Storylines game mode.
One of the most popular sports video games is looking to the past for its future. For the second year in a row, San Diego Studios is adding the Storylines feature to MLB The Show. Last year, they introduced the mode, allowing gamers to play as different legends from the Negro Leagues. It gave players an interactive look at legends like number 42 himself, Jackie Robinson, while also highlighting lesser-known players like Martin DeHigo. I went to MLB headquarters and spoke with Ramon Russell, product development spokesman for the game, about some of the new players, including Toni Stone of the Indianapolis Clowns.
Toni Stone is the first woman who played in a professional men's baseball league that just so happens to be the Negro Leagues. It's an often forgotten piece of American history, and we're just trying to do our part to expose it to a much younger audience.
And Tony's introduction could lead to another storyline in the future, the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, which has gained wider recognition in modern times thanks to the movie and TV series A League of Their Own.
We're having continued discussions on how we can continue to represent the contributions of women in baseball.
But for now, in this jam-packed game mode, in addition to Stone, there will be at least 9 other Negro League pros, including legends like Hank Aaron, Josh Gibson, and Buck Leonard. Developers also say another storyline will focus on New York Yankees icon Derek Jeter and follow him through his Hall of Fame career. To hear more about this and other stories, check out the Fox on Tech, Fox on Games podcast every weekend. In New York, Eamon Dignam, Fox News.
Up next, we'll meet a Missouri man helping some shelter dogs shape up. One Missouri man is helping shelter dogs in the Kansas City area get in better shape. Ellen Shope has the story.
And how much does Dennis weigh?
65 to 70.
Yeah, KC Pet Project pup Dennis is right about in his weight class.
Good boy.
A lot of that is because Dennis likes going to the gym, or rather the gym coming to him.
Sometimes you get this hesitation like, why the hell is this?
Fernandoku with Jog Dat Dog volunteers his mobile gym to area shelters like the KC Pet Project to get shelter dogs that spend a lot of time in kennels out walking.
Almost like teaching your kid to ride a bicycle.
It's 2 flat mill treadmills in the back of a temperature-controlled van, helping get the zoomies out.
Dogs are really smart. They start like just zooming and they just can't stop.
Usually he'll run about 6 to 8 of our most high energy dogs, the ones that would be the perfect running buddy for you.
Vernon says the workout sessions last between 20 and 30 minutes long. He says that's equivalent to about 5 miles.
The goal is make it seem like something that's very exciting. There you go.
Vernon says he volunteers for the shelters to learn more about different breeds of dogs, and because
dogs are cooped up in the kennels, KCPP has about 300 dogs that need some sort of outlet to get your energy out. They have to get to know me and get to trust me, and once that happens, I get more out of it. Go boy!
Well, that's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll leave you with a video of a mother bald eagle waiting for her eggs to hatch. From all of us here in the studio, have a great night.